boys high school basketball between our Musketeers and Scottsburg Warriors. Both teams come into this contest at a 1-0 record. Scottsburg coming off a victory over Austin last week, and the Musketeers last Tuesday night traveled to Borden and come out with a victory over the Borden Braves, 70-56. Mikey, we'll get right into it here. This looks to be a very, very competitive game here, and one that's going to pretty much kind of tell us where we're at here early on in the season.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it's anytime you come over here on the road and you got to play in this environment, they're going to play a style that, a lot of teams don't play. They're going to get after it. I mean, they don't care who shoots it, how many times they shoot it. They're going to put it in the air, and, you're going to have to get back in defense. So, you look at it, Scottsburg's a team that I think is a top 3 or 4 team in the conference. Most people would think anyway, and it would be big to, if we're going to be as good as what we think we are, this is a statement win early in the season, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree with you. And the thing about this Scottsburg team, I believe they start 3 sophomores, and we're going to start a freshman tonight. They're going to start a freshman, 3 sophomores, and a senior. So, I mean, They're very, very young, but very talented. We knew it was coming. They got a sophomore and freshman class this year that is very, very talented. They've always turned it into a track meet. And whenever you play them, they're going to turn the defense up. They're going to full court pressure all night long. And we just got to take care of the basketball and do what we do. And let's talk a little bit about what some of the key factors for the Musketeers to come out of here with a victory tonight. What do we need to do, Mikey?
Well, I mean, I think every night in, night out, when you get on the air and you talk about us, it's got to go through Cherry. I mean, that's the number one night in, night out. But, we got to be able to, limit turnovers. We start turning over, especially live ball turnovers where they're getting a chance to get in a break and get an easy one. If we're going to turn it over, it's got to be a dead ball turnover where we get a chance to set our defense up. But I think the magic number is about 12 turnovers. If you have more than 12, I think you're in for a real dogfight and it's going to be tough to win. Second thing is we're going to have to test shots. I mean, we can't give them easy ones. We're going to have to find the shooters, and we're going to have to find that third scorer on offense. They're going to focus on Cade and Jacob, but, Yancey stepped up down at Borden, and I don't think Doc was really expecting for him to come in and do that. And, it kind of has to be a Yancey tonight or a KT or even a Branson off the bench, Branson White. But I think you got to put 3 in double figures for us to have a shot tonight.
I agree with you, Mikey. And one thing, we talked about it after the Borden game. Talked about Yancey. You just mentioned Yancey and what he did to step up, how he's developed his game over the last year. Coach left him down at the JV, let him do his own thing last year for a reason. He wanted him to go down there and kind of have his way with those younger kids, and because he is so physically bigger than most kids that age. But, Caden Temple, he really showed us some things there in that Borden game about attacking the basket and being able to finish around the rim. And his jump shot looks a lot better. You can tell he shot the ball an awful lot in the off season here and developed that and got better. So it's going to be real interesting tonight. Talk a little bit about, Mikey, what's going on around Musketeer Nation and what we got going on.
Well, it's a busy week for you and I this week. We got tonight. We'll be back in action Thursday night as the girls will be back in action at home against Providence, the sectional opponent. And then we're back at it Friday night at home again for the season opener for the boys at home as county rival West Washington comes to town, coming off a surprising loss to most people to Salem last Wednesday night. And, they're here in the gym tonight scouting us. And then, Saturday night we travel to probably, one of the top 2 or 3 toughest places to play on our schedule. We go over to Brownstown for the girls' action as they'll take on the Lady Braves over there. I do want to give one shout-out to my 6th grade boys had their season opener last night at home and come out over Austin went by about 20, 23 points, something like that. But it was a good win. Big strides from last year to tonight, from where they were. So pretty proud of them. Hopefully continue to get better and, excited about that.
Well, just now that you're on it, you kind of took away what I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you about your middle school team, but you know, that's one of the things that Coach Pribble's kind of hung his hat on since he's been down here is developing these younger kids and being a part of these middle school groups. And I think that it showed with the interest that he's got out of these younger kids coming out for these teams.
Yeah, I mean, he did something this summer that, we've never did, and I don't know how many other programs do. But, he had the open gyms just like he does for the high school, for the middle school this summer, where they came in, they did some scrimmage, and they did drills, they worked out. And, then he did a camp in this fall going into the season, and you could really see the dividends paying out on these boys. I had 3 to 4 parents tell me last night just the difference they had seen from this year to last year, how much growth they've had. And, that's a positive thing. And I think that's, tribute to what, Coach Fribble is trying to do for this program.
Well, we're going to definitely, this is one of those games where, you like to catch them early, but then again, you might not be a bad thing to catch them late in the season when you kind of see where you're at. But, last year they come over to our place, and I think we kind of shocked them, with coming away with the victory over and a pretty decisive victory over them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a double-digit win. I think at one point we were up 15, 18 points there in the second half. But I think that was a game that kind of turned our season the way we, Coach Fribble wanted it to go. Record-wise, and we lost some we shouldn't have probably, but I think that game gives these guys confidence. Hey, Coach knows what he's doing. Coach got confidence in them that, hey, these guys can play. And they kind of started just getting better slowly and surely. And, like we said, we talked about it. We beat it in the ground, but, we're one play away from being sectional champs over there at Paoli last year.
The JV come away tonight. They're 0-2 now as they fell tonight to the Scottsburg Warriors. I think, what was it, about a 9-point game, Mikey?
Yeah.
Got it as low as, I think, tied it up at one point there, cut it to 3 with and late in the fourth quarter there, just couldn't get any closer than that. But the kids are getting better. We're battling some injuries with the JV team, and, hopefully those kids will be back soon from some of their injuries to help these kids out.
Yeah, with the injuries, and then, that only leaves about, 5 to 6 5 true JV players. And, you can see we're probably not in basketball shape yet.
Yeah.
And, some of these guys coming from football, it's a different thing when you come to basketball being in shape. So.
Well, Mikey, we're getting about 50 seconds away from our national anthem here, so this is time we take to step away, hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to you after the national anthem, give you the starting lineup. But you're listening to Musketeer Basketball on WSLM out of Salem, Indiana.
Everyone needs a passion.
Young people, especially.
That's one of the reasons why high school sports are so powerful.
Because they give student athletes purpose, something to be passionate about. I'm Sandra Walter.
And I'm Robert Falkins. We're both assistant commissioners for the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
And we're passionate about preserving the purity of high school sports.
They're the purest form of sport left. They're played on a level playing field.
And they're played for school and community pride.
They promote sportsmanship and build character.
And this year, we are thrilled to welcome back our passionate fans.
So buy a ticket to your school's next sporting event.
And experience the passion and the purity of high school sports.
The athletes and schools deserve your support.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA. Last year, this is what a touchdown sounded like at a high school football game without fans.
Touchdown, Tigers!
Without you there, Indiana high school sports just weren't the same. But this year, a touchdown will sound like a touchdown again, because you'll be there to experience it. High school sports are far better with you in the stands. That's because high school sports are about more than the game. They're about the community. They're about the fans in the stands who come together to cheer for the leaders of tomorrow.
Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Knight, and I just want to welcome you back to the stands. The students and schools deserve your support.
This is high school football. This is Friday night. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Robert, are you going to the game on Friday?
Yep, I've already got my ticket, Carrie, which we both know as Indiana High School Athletic Association Assistant Commissioners is much more than a ticket.
It's so much more. When you go to a high school sporting event, you're making a contribution to your community.
That's right. The proceeds from ticket sales go right back to your school's athletic department to help pay for things like facility maintenance and officiating crews.
And just by being there, you're encouraging the student athletes in your community to achieve their...
Welcome back to Scottsburg High School here at the pressure cooker in Scottsburg, Indiana. It's got our national anthem. Thank you so much for that. Give you your starting lineups first for the Scottsburg Warriors. Starting 1 forward, a 6'4" senior, number 4, Hayden Cutter. At a guard, 6'4", sophomore, number 11, Jack Miller. And a forward, a 6'7" sophomore, Wyatt Zellers. And another guard, 6'1" sophomore, Cody Clancy. Another forward, 6'5" freshman, number 44, Kobe Hall. For the Musketeers, they'll go with a 6'3" guard, number 23, a senior, Cade Jones. Another guard, 6'1" senior, number 24, Caleb Jones. Third guard, 6'1" sophomore, Cade Dimple. In the middle for the Musketeers, a 6'10" junior, number 30, Jacob Cherry. And another guard, 6 foot, number 33, Yancey Edlin. Well, Mikey, I've kind of been excited about this since last Tuesday night, buddy. I knew this would be a big time. Tuesday night game. I think the kids kind of enjoy this, kind of breaks up the monotony with practice. During the week, they get a practice, a game, 2 practices, get to play again on Friday. So I think the kids enjoy that. Whether they're in shape or not, we don't know yet. But
yeah. I don't know how much I enjoy it. It's so hard on this old man. It's got to go work in a few hours.
Well, the teams come to the center here. It'll be Jacob Cherry jumping against Wyatt Zellers. A little bit of height advantage for the Scottsburg Warriors, but I wouldn't say it's too much, Mikey.
No, I think it's pretty evenly matched. I mean, we're going a little smaller than this tonight.
Tips up, and it's controlled by Scottsburg. It's Clancy. We'll walk it across the timeline here. They'll slide it left to Miller, back to Clancy, and now go right to Zellers. Zellers back out top to Clancy. Clancy thinks about 3, nothing to Miller, now Clancy. Back to Miller. Miller looks cross court to Zellers. Zellers looking at short corner to Cutter. Dumps it down to Hall. Back out to Clancy. Clancy dribbles it out front. Dumps it to high post to Hall. Hall thinks about a shot. Back to Clancy. Clancy at the top of the key now. And they'll set it up, and he'll shoot a long 3 here, and it's off. And rebounded, brought out there by Jacob Cherry. Now the Musketeers for their first possession. Yancey Edlin. Caleb Jones in the corner, back to Yancey Edlin. Yancey's yelling out direction here at the top of the key. He'll get it off to Cade Temple. Man-to-man defense from the Warriors. Now here's Yancey Edlin on the left wing. Cross court to Caleb Jones. Jones down the middle of the lane, up with the left hand, blocked away by Hall. Zellers brings it out of there, brings it across the timeline, off to Jack Miller, back to Zellers. Zellers back to Hall, or back to Miller. Miller now to Clancy. Clancy on the left wing, back to Miller out top. He's high post to Hall. Hall now the right wing to Zellers. He'll let 3 go. No good. Rebounded out of there by Jacob Cherry. Off to Cade Timble. Up ahead to Cade Jones. Jones spins, goes baseline, spins again, dumps it down. He's going to get called for a travel. 6:30 to go in the first quarter here. No score yet. Scottsburg basketball. Hall gets it into Clancy. Clancy goes left side to Jack Miller. Miller back to Clancy on the right wing. Baseline to Zellers. Dumps it down to the short corner to Cutter. Cutter looking on the right wing. Now to Hall. Now dumps it down to Cutter. Cutter off the glass. No good. They're going to get called for a charging foul. Richardson disagrees with that call. Temple across the timeline. Top of the key. Now goes left wing to Yancey Edlin. Edlin looks inside to Cherry. Now here's Yancey off the glass. No good. Rebounded out there by Toby Hall. Off to Clancy now. Under 6 minutes. Now here's Zeller. Thought about a three. Nothing. One shot fake. Now here's the 15-footer from Cutter, and he knocks it down. 2-0 Scottsburg. 5:42 to go in the first. Now the Musketeers. Temple. Now to Edlin. Edlin. Cross court to Caleb Jones. Dumps it down to Jacob Cherry. Cherry's 15-footer. No good. Rebounded by Yancey, and he steps on the sideline. So turnover Musketeers back to the Scottsburg Warriors. Clancy walks it across. Now Jack Miller. Back to Zellers out the top of the key. Left side to Clancy. Clancy looking inside. Nothing there. Back out top to Miller. Now to Clancy. Clancy thinks about a three. To high post to Hall. Now here's Miller. Miller right wing to Zellers. Short corner to Cutter. Cutter dribbles it out. Goes back out top to Miller. Now high post to Hall. Hall looks down low. Nothing now. Now Zellers. He'll let another three go. No good. Rebounded out of there by Hall, and he bounces on the sideline back to the Musketeers.
We got to get a little bit of a movement down here.
I agree, Mikey. Here's Temple. Temple being guarded by Clancy. Clancy. Now, Caleb Jones, left wing to Yancey Edlin. Edlin finds Cade Jones. Jones spins back to Yancey Edlin on the left baseline. He'll drive middle, cross court to Caleb Jones. Short corner to Temple. Temple back to Jones. Now Edlin. Edlin down low to Jacob Cherry. Cherry, now he throws it away. Turnover Musketeers. .4:16 to go in the first. Still 2-0 ball game. Scottsburg on top. Clancy looking. Now Jack Miller. Back to Clancy. Clancy with a 25-footer. No good. Rebounded out of there. Out of bounds. Going to go over to the Musketeers. Well, they're not afraid to shoot it, Mikey.
No, they're not. You know, they're getting a little easier contested shots than what we are down here.
Temple now. Under 4 in the first here. Looking for Jacob. Jacob's going to have to play a little bit more physical, I think. Here's Cade Jones for three. Got it. 3-2, Musketeers on top. 3:40, now Jack Miller. Miller to Clancy. Short corner to Cutter. Here's Cutter's 15-footer again. He knocks it down. He's got a nice-looking shot, Mikey.
Yeah.
4-3, Scottsburg. Caleb Jones. Now to Yancey Edlin. Edlin being guarded by Zellers. Now Caleb Jones. Jones is going to get called for a travel. Turnover back to the Scottsburg Warriors. Substitution now, number 3 for Scottsburg. Kyle McGinnis will check in for Wyatt Zellers. Now Jack Miller and Warriors. Here's Clancy out top. Yelling out direction. Left side to Jack Miller. Miller now to Clancy. Back to Miller. Now high post to Hall. Hall's 15-footer. He banks it in. 6-3. We're under 3 minutes in the first quarter. Temple. Back to Edlin. Edlin's going to let 3 go. Got it. That's what you call a friendly bounce, Mike.
Yeah.
6-all. Now Miller. Miller back to Clancy. Out top the key, right side to McGinnis. McGinnis back to Clancy. Clancy thought about another 25-footer. Nothing there. Timeout. It will be a 30-second timeout, Mikey. So, not a lot of time there. You're doing the stats here, but what do you see so far, buddy?
Well, I think we're really having to work extremely hard. We're trying to drive them, but we're getting ourselves in trouble. We just stay, true to what we can do. I think we'll be all right. Down here with our zone, we've got to find the shooter. I mean, Cutter's knocked down 2. You got to find. I'll let Hall bank one in for 15.
Yeah. Scottsburg basketball with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Eli Guthrie's checked in for Cherry.
Tie ball game, 6-all. Ball comes into Clancy. Clancy to Jack Miller, back to Clancy. Now left side to McGinnis. Clancy out top. Now right side to Jack Miller. Clancy, now high post. Try to dump it down to Cutter. It's going to be out of bounds. Turnover, back to the Musketeers. They like running that high-low, Mikey.
Yeah. And he was open.
Yeah, he was. Musketeer basketball here. Temple walking across, being guarded by Clancy. Clancy, back cut. He's being held by Miller. Here's Eli Guthrie for a jump shot. Got it. 8-6 Musketeers. Now Miller. Back to Clancy. Now McGinnis on the right wing. He'll let a long 3 go, and he buries it. That was a deep one there, Mikey.
Yeah.
9-8. Scottsburg on top. Musketeers searching for an answer here. Here's Temple to the lane. No good. Rebounded out there by Cutter. He gets it off to Clancy. Now Scottsburg running. Clancy drives it down to the left baseline. Now he's going to let a 3 go. No good. Rebounded out there by Yancey Edlin. Minute and a half left in the first quarter. Edlin across the timeline. He thought about a 3. Dumps it down to Eli. He'll be fouled by Cutter. That'll be Scottsburg's second team foul and Cutter's second. As he'll take a seat and he'll be replaced by Javis Roush. Yancey now. Kate's going to have to work a little bit harder to get open. Turnover. Miller just basically took it away from it. Here's Miller from the right side, lays it off the glass and got it. 11-8 Scottsburg. 1 minute. Dave Jones drives baseline. It's going to be fouled by Jack Miller. It'll be his first, team's third. As Caden Richardson will check in now for Jack Miller. Few substitutions for it. That's 3 for Scottsburg, and we've made 1, Mikey, and you called that. It'd probably be pretty short. Here's Temple, out top to Cade Jones. We're under a minute left here in the first quarter. Now Caleb Jones for 3, no good. Rebounded out there by Clancy. Clancy's on the move now. He'll back it back out. Dumps it down to Hall, off the glass, no good. Yancey Edlin with a rebound. 36 seconds. Here's Temple. Drives baseline. Out to Caleb Jones. Jones. Off to Edlin with 24 seconds. Edlin lets the long 3 go. No good. Rebounded out there by Clancy. 15 seconds. Up ahead to Roush. Out to Clancy. Coach Richardson yelling out 1 shot here. Back to Clancy. Now here's Richardson. Going to be a foul call on Eli Guthrie. I don't know if I agree with that call with 2.5 seconds to go. Cherry's going to check back in for the Musketeers. He'll replace Caleb Jones. Clancy set the triggered in for the Warriors. He's looking, gets it off to McGinnis for a long three at the buzzer. That gives Scottsburg a 14-8 lead going into the second quarter. We'll step away here. Word from our sponsors. You're listening to Musketeer Basketball at WSLM out of Salem, Indiana.
This is Becky White from WSLM. I'm here at the beautiful John Jones showroom in Salem, Indiana for the John Jones Auto Minute.
Hello there, Jalen Hoare here at John Jones in Salem, Indiana. Winter is here, as well as a bunch of Chevrolet trucks. We've got incoming 21 and 22 model Silverados. Come check out our inventory at 1450 South State Road 60. Pick out the truck that works best for you and your family, or check out our inventory online at johnjonesautogroup.com. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out at 877-473-5546. And from Jalen Hoare over at John Jones, happy holidays.
At John Jones GM City, you see so many because they pay so little.
Welcome back to Scottsburg High School here. Start of the second quarter. It will be Scottsburg basketball leading this contest 14-8 over the Eastern Musketeers. Not a whole lot of production on the offensive end for the Musketeers. Kay Jones, I don't know, what's he taking, one shot?
Yeah, three, and he's made it.
I mean,
But they're face guards.
They are.
He's going to have to work extremely hard to get open.
Musketeer basketball here. Temple yelling out direction here. Off to Cherry. Now Eli to Temple on the right wing. Temple now to Jones. Jones will let three more go. No good. Rebounded out there by Hall. Off to McGinnis. Now McGinnis will let another 25-footer go. No good. Rebounded out there by Richardson. Jacob Martin checked into the game now for the Musketeers. Martin on the left wing. He'll let three go. Got it. 17-8. Scottsburg on top. Jones. Now Guthrie. Guthrie out top. Thought about a three. Nothing there. Now gets it off to Temple on the left wing. Tries the back door on Eli. He didn't continue to go, and we threw out of bounds. Turnover back to Scottsburg.
It's danger time right here.
Yep. Now here's McGinnis, Richardson. McGinnis out top. Now Martin on the left wing. McGinnis out top. Right side to Richardson. Now McGinnis. McGinnis thought about it. Goes to Richardson. Richardson cross court to Martin. Martin back to McGinnis. McGinnis will let three go. No good. Rebounded out of there by Jacob Cherry. Off to Temple. Temple dumps it down to Eli. Eli go to work. There's going to be a charging foul on Eli.
I don't know that I agree with it. It's almost like a flop in my opinion.
Yeah. That's, I was going to say, they had that at 17 fouls. They changed it. Their second team foul. The Eli second. He'll sit down as Branson White and Nancy Edlin check back in. Here's another three from Martin. He knocks her down again. 20-8. Now Edlin. To Temple. Temple out top. Caleb Jones. Jones attacking. Now off to Branson. Branson. Left wing to Yancey's. He'll draw a foul. I think we got a charging foul on Branson White. The third team foul on the Musketeers. We're under 6 minutes to go here in the half. 20-8 Scottsburg. Richardson back to Hall. Now McGinnis out top. High post to Hall. Back to McGinnis. McGinnis to Martin on the left wing. Got to find him. There's Roush. Now Richardson will let three go. Got it. 23-8. 5.5 minutes to go. Here's Caleb Jones for three. No good. Rebounded out there by Scottsburg. We're frustrated right now, Mikey.
Yeah.
Here's Rouse. Rouse back to McGinnis. Steps on the sideline. Turnover back to the Musketeers with 5:11 to go. It's Jack Miller and Cody Clancy. Timeout, Musketeers. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
Well, I think they ain't forgot last year when they came to us late.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they got that in the back of their mind. You know, they got something to prove. They haven't, you know, they ain't been to the Scottsburg standards the last few years over here. So, you know, they're trying to make a statement here early in the year and show that they're going to make a run at the conference and, you know, even a sectional title. You know?
Oh, yeah. You know, and the shots they're getting, Mikey, they're long, but they're uncontested. I mean, it's like playing horse.
Yeah, no, but the part of that is I can't blame the guys for not coming out and guarding them. I mean, you're giving up 26-foot jump shots.
Did you hit them 26-footers?
I
I would say probably so. Over the top to Cherry. Scottsburg comes out there with it, now Clancy. Clancy now to Hall. Hall will let three go. No good. Rebounded out there by Martin. Martin did call for a travel as Cade Jones sent the check back in for the Musketeers.
Well, this is when you find out how good Cade Jones is. He's got to go to work. You know, he's got to start taking over.
Jones now got it up top. Off to Branson White. Branson back to Yancey. Yancey now Cade inside to Jacob Cherry. Lays it up and in. 23-10. Wyatt Zeller set the check back in for the Warriors. Next dead ball. Clancy walks it across the timeline. Drives left, goes back right, gives it off to Jones. He'll let Martin let three more go. Rebounded out there by Hall. Back out to Clancy. Clancy. We're just getting out work, Mikey. Jack Miller now.
Yeah, but I like our effort defensively.
Here's Hall for another three. Got it. 26-10. 3:50 to go. Off the Branson White, back to Yancey Edlin. Yancey now gets the screen from Cherry. He drives down the lane. Blocked away by Miller. Up ahead to Miller. Back to Martin. Off glass. No good. Rebounded out there by Branson White. Off to Caden Temple. Temple. Tries over the top. Intercepted by Hall. Turnover Musketeers. Here's Clancy. Clancy in. Off the glass. Got it. 28-10. Scottsburg on top. With 3:10 to go in the first half. It'll be a full timeout. We'll step away here. Word from our sponsors. You're listening to Musketeer Basketball on WSLM out of Salem, Indiana.
Everyone needs a passion.
Young people, especially.
That's one of the reasons why high school sports are so powerful.
Because they give student athletes purpose, something to be passionate about. I'm Sandra Walter.
And I'm Robert Falkins. We're both assistant commissioners for the Indiana High School Athletic Association.
And we're passionate about preserving the purity of high school sports.
They're the purest form of sport left. They're played on a level playing field.
And they're played for school and community pride.
They promote sportsmanship and build character.
And this year, we are thrilled to welcome back our passionate fans.
So buy a ticket to your school's next sporting event.
And experience the passion and the purity of high school sports.
The athletes and schools deserve your support.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Scottsburg High School. 3:12 to go in the first half. Musketeers down 28-10 to the Scottsburg Warriors, and it's pretty much been non-contest up to this point, Mikey. Here's Branson White for three. No good. Rebounded out there by Clancy. It's 1 and out right now. Clancy on the run. Now Zellers. Back to Rouse. Rouse. Now to Jack Miller. Miller down the middle of the lane. Off the glass. Got it. 30-10. Edlin on the left wing. Now here's Jones. Jones going to be fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2 as Richardson and Cutter set the check back in for the Warriors. Mikey, they're probably shooting 70% from the field right now. Kay Jones' first free throw is no good. As Hall and Rouse will check out for the Warriors. Jones has one more free throw. It is up and no good. Rebounded out there by Richardson. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Clancy will walk it across the timeline. Slides it left. Now back out to the top of the key. Set the offense up. Drives down the middle. Kicks it out to Miller. Miller's going to try a three. No good. Rebounded by Zellers. Back to Clancy. Clancy's going to have all day to line the seams up, and he knocks it down. 33-10. Musketeers out top to Yancey Edlin. High post to Cherry. Cherry, ball stolen away by Richardson. Off to Clancy. Clancy on the run. Now to Zellers. Zellers 15-footer. No good. We're going to get a foul on Scottsburg. It'll be on Caden Richardson as Caleb Jones set the check back in for Branson White. Musketeer basketball with 1.5 minutes to go in the first half, down 23, 33-10. Temple, now Edlin. Edlin in the lane, up, no good. Rebounded out there by Richardson, off to Clancy. Now Scottsburg on the run. Off to Richardson. Now to Miller. Now to Cutter. Cutter on the left wing. He'll back Cherry down, go to work on him, spins, up, got it. 35-10. Caden Temple now to Caleb Jones. Jones. We're going to get a foul on Cutter, and that'll be his third as Kobe Hall set the check back in for Cutter. And Cutter's got to be smarter than that with having.
Yeah, that was, I put it on Coach. You're up 20.
Yeah.
Why put him back in the ball game? That's just dumb.
Here's Caleb Jones off to Jacob. Jacob Cherry goes to work. Back cut to Jones. Jones going to be batted out of bounds. And it'll stay with the Eastern Musketeers. 41 seconds to go in the first half. Caden Temple set the trigger in. He'll get it into Cade Jones. Jones over the top to Jacob Cherry. Dumps it down, and it is good off the glass. 35-12 with 30 seconds to go in the first half. Yancey's going to get called for a foul out top here. 30 feet from the basket on Clancy. That'll be the Musketeers' fourth team foul. Nobody in the bonus yet with 24.8 left in the first half. 35-12. Off to Clancy. Clancy probably going to play for one here, Scottsburg. Clancy down the middle of the lane, lays it off the glass, no good. Rebounded out there by Caleb Jones. Jones, 9 seconds, down to 6. Yancey, 3, to the glass. Going to be fouled by Wyatt Zellers. They'll send Yancey Edlin to the line to shoot 2. I don't know what they're yelling about up here.
Yeah, I mean, he got mugged pretty good.
Yeah, he got blown by and then fouled from behind. I don't know. That's going to be a foul every time. Edlin's first shot is up and good. Yancey gets one more. Shots up, no good. Rebounded out of there. Temple's going to let one go. Would not have counted at the buzzer, so that'll bring us to the end of the first half. The Scottsburg Warriors on top of our Eastern Musketeers, 35-13. We'll step away, hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be right back to you. Give you comments and stats from Mikey. You're listening to Musketeer Basketball on WSLM out of Salem, Indiana.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports. Here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Let's get you set up with everything you need to know about the IHSAA. It's a busy time of year for high school sports, and we welcome you to the Commissioner's Corner. I'm Brendan King in for the Coach Bob Lovell, joined alongside IHSAA Commissioner. That is Paul Neidig. Paul, certainly a busy time. We've got some semi-state winners to crown this weekend.
Yeah, isn't it great? I'll take busy every day of the week. You know, great time of the year. And, you know, we've celebrated some state championships this fall, but we got to focus on football the next 2 weeks now.
No doubt about it. You mentioned state championships, Paul, at Lucas Oil Stadium coming up here in just a couple of weeks. I wanted to ask you this. When you look at last year and you look at this year, was game planning for this year easier or harder just because obviously you're back to normal, there's more people to manage, and there's just more stuff going on this year without, you know, as much COVID restriction?
Yeah, you know, I think it's certainly different. I think this year for us, planning-wise, looked more like 2019, previous years. You know, you got to remember, 12 months ago, while we were playing, we were still trying to figure out how to play. And, you know, it's opening up a high school venue is one scenario, but then opening up a facility like Lucas Oil and temperature checks and clearing between stands and the sanitization that took place. You know, it was all the right stuff to do. But, yeah, there were a lot more moving parts given COVID-19, where it was at, treatments and protocols than there are this year, but certainly still respect what's going on with COVID and going to do it safely.
Paul, we talked about this a little bit last week, but the state championships this year inside Lucas Oil, what can fans expect that may be a little bit different from last season?
You know, I think we're going to see more fans. Everything that we've seen this fall has been that I would call this the year of the fan. People have come back in groves just to go watch a high school football. I think they realize the value in the experience, how much fun it is to go watch that time-honored tradition of kids playing for their local high school. And it's just going to be fans. I look for a lot of energy in the building this year. We don't have to clean out, clear the facilities, so fans that want to come and buy a ticket and watch 3 games in a day are going to be able to do that this year. And I just really think there's going to be a lot of energy. And we had energy last year, but it's just hard when you had a maximum of 5,000 per contest. You know, this year that number's going to be at least double that, and we're hoping triple that with people coming out to watch their kids play.
Well, I'm definitely excited to be on the call for the Class 2A state championship game inside Lucas Oil, Paul. But, you know, after the state championships, no rest for the weary. You're going to be right in the basketball season and holiday tournaments before you know it.
Again, it's just the holiday season is a great time of the year where between Christmas and New Year's, there's holiday tournaments. There's just a lot of basketball played. Kids get a chance to not to have to focus on the daily education side of why they're in school, the main reason why they're in school, and just take a 2-week period of time and just focus on playing basketball with their teammates. And great games, great tradition along the way. But, you know, our ladies are playing, our young men are playing, and we're going to go with it.
Paul, what's really the next step for you guys in terms of like spring planning after football state championships finish up? Because that's obviously a big load off your shoulder.
once football gets over with, we do try to catch our breath a little bit at the beginning of December. But yeah, it's what's interesting. We just had a meeting this morning, and our assistant commissioners are looking at their officials meetings and the training for officials and getting them prepared for the next season, and what rule changes have come to us from the National Federation of High Schools over the last year. And how do we get that information out to our schools and our coaches? And it's a constant cycle of train officials, looking at game protocol, looking at what's best for the tournaments. Do we need to make adjustments to provide a better experience for student athletes? We don't just go play a state championship in football in 2 weeks and quit thinking about it for the next year. It's constant, and the staff does a phenomenal job. They keep it live, they keep it real, and they continue to focus on what we need to do before the year's over, how we're going to manage the next year.
He is the commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. I'm Brendan King with you on the Commissioner's Corner. Paul, always appreciate the time. Should be a really fun next couple of weeks.
It is, and good luck with the show this weekend, Brendan. I look forward to tuning in Friday and Saturday night to hearing the experts talk about high school football.
Thanks for listening to the Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Chris, last year was a challenge,
It was quite a challenge.
but we overcame it.
That's what life's all about, overcoming challenges together.
And I'm so proud of our entire state and our local communities for persevering through last year together. I'm Indiana High School Athletic Association Assistant Commissioner Carrie Schludecker.
And I'm Assistant Commissioner Chris Kaufman. Last year, we learned something that high school sports have always taught kids, how to overcome challenges through discipline and teamwork.
Our student athletes do it year in and year out.
And last year, they did it with limited to no attendance.
But this year, fans are back in the stands, and we want to see your enthusiasm.
So we're challenging you, the fans,
To buy a ticket to your school's next sporting event.
and help the whole community persevere.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
High school sports fans, this is IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig, and I'd like to introduce you to new Assistant Commissioner Brian Lewis.
Thank you, Paul. I can't tell you how excited I am to be part of the team.
We know you're going to excel in your role. High school sports have been a huge part of your life.
That's right. I played high school sports, I coached high school sports, and I was an athletic director.
You truly live high school sports. Tell the fans why they're so important to you.
Because high school sports are education-based athletics, and as a former teacher, I know firsthand how effective they are in teaching lessons outside of the classroom.
Real-life lessons.
100%. They teach teams how to overcome adversity,
How to work hard, how to get better every single day.
absolutely, and I think most importantly, how to be part of a team.
Well, Brian, welcome to our team.
This is your team. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Scottsburg High School here at halftime of our varsity contest. Scottsburg Warriors on top of our Musketeers, 35-13, Mikey, and not much really to talk about on the offensive end for the Musketeers there in the first half.
No, they're playing scared. The disappointing thing is I feel like we're just backing down from them. We're not competing.
Yeah.
And, last year we were a team, we get down 10, 15 points, and you think ball game's over, and here we come. And we battle back to a one-possession game. Games sometimes we didn't finish, but we made that run.
Yeah.
Now we got to find out what kind of team we have. You're in the locker room right now. Ultimately, you're down 22. You want to win the ball game, but we got to find out what kind of team we have. You got to put it in segments. You got to put it in 4 segments, 4-minute segments. You want to get this in the first 4 minutes, halfway through the third. You want to have it to about 16. Then you want to have it to 10 by the end of the third, and then if you're not there, you're probably not going to have a chance to win.
Yeah.
But that's where you got to be. That's what you got to challenge these guys to do.
Because Scottsburg's they're not going to hold the basketball. They're going to get it out. They're going to try to score.
No, and just looking at a few stats here, they shot 27 times our 16. And another stat that stuck out to me is I said we had to have 12 or less on turnovers. We're at 11 right now at the half.
Yeah.
So,
how many points have they scored off them turnovers?
Points off turnovers, I got 12 of them.
Yeah.
To our 4. So, that's 8 points, But, the whole second half, things could go completely opposite of how they did for Scottsburg. I know you say they're shooting 25-foot jump shots, but if you play the percentage games, how many of them are they going to knock down? And it ain't just one guy doing it, though.
Yeah.
You're going to have to come out and guard 4 or 5 of them. So
we'll run through the first half stats here real quick for the Scottsburg Warriors. We got Kyle McGinnis with 6, Hayden Cutter with 6, Caden Richardson with 3, Jack Miller with 4, Cody Clancy with 5, Jacob Martin with 6, and Colby Hall with 5. For the Musketeers, you have Kay Jones with 3, Jacob Cherry with 4, Yancey Edlin with 4, and Eli Guthrie with 2 for 13 for the Musketeers. Musketeers got out rebounded in the first half, 15-9. Beat Scottsburg basketball to start the second half. They go back with their starters with Zellers, Clancy, Cutter, Hall, and Jack Miller. For the Musketeers, they'll do the same. It'll be Caden Temple, Yancey Edlin, Kay Jones, Jacob Cherry, and Caden Temple. Here we go, Mikey.
Go, boy!
Clancy's got it out top here. He's going to direct traffic, goes left side to Jack Miller. Miller, high post to Hall. Back to Miller, now Clancy. Clancy, back to Miller. High post to Hall. Back to Clancy. To Miller. Now Zellers on the right wing. He'll dribble it back out top and give it off to Clancy. Now over to Jack Miller. Clancy.
Longest possession they've had.
Yep. There's Hall. Now Zellers. He'll let 3 go. No good. Rebounded out there by Yancey Edlin. 7:22 to go here in the third. Cross court here to Caleb Jones. Jones will let 3 go. No good. Rebounded by Jack Miller. Clancy. Over the top to Cutter. Cutter, back to Clancy, cross court. Now Zellers on the left baseline. Down low to Cutter. Cutter, back to Clancy. Now Jack Miller. Miller, 15-footer. No good. Rebounded by Cutter. Blocked away by Yancey, out of bounds. Will stay with the Scottsburg Warriors with 6:51 to go in the third quarter. Clancy to trigger it in for the Warriors. Gets it in to Cutter. Up. To Hall. He'll put it up. Misses the shot, but will be fouled by Caleb Jones. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 here with 6:50 to go in the third quarter. Colby Hall's first one is up and good.
He's just a freshman.
He's a big boy for a freshman.
Yeah.
Hall's second one is no good. Rebounded out of there by Cherry. Off to Temple. Temple. Down the middle of the lane. Up with a shot. No good. Rebounded out of there by Colby Hall. He'll get it off to Clancy. Over to Jack Miller. Now back to Clancy. Clancy, right wing to Zellers. Now Hall dumps it down to Cutter and in. 38-13. Temple, down the middle of the lane. He'll back it back out. Now go to Edlin for 3. No good. Rebounded by... Ball was tapped out of bounds by Scottsburg, and it will stay with the Musketeers. Temple set to trigger it in for the Musketeers. He'll get it into Caleb Jones. Jones dumps it down to Jacob Cherry. Cherry will go to work. Goes up with it, blocked away by Zellers, and come out of there with Clancy. Up ahead to Zellers. Zellers looking inside the Cutter, short corner, back to Zellers, up, got it. 40-13. Temple off the Yancey. Yancey to Caden Temple. Dumps it down to Jacob Cherry and got it. 40-15. Now Miller off to Zellers. Back to Jack Miller. Left side to Clancy. Down low to Cutter. Cutter, ball away. No good. Rebounded by Temple. Up ahead to Jacob. Jacob off the glass and got it. That's a good job running a 4 by Jacob.
Yeah.
40-17. 5 minutes to go here in the third. Jack Miller to Clancy. Now left wing to Zellers. Back out top to Clancy. Clancy set the offense up. Goes to the high post to Cutter. Now Clancy. Clancy thought about a 3. Nothing there. Hands it off to Hall. Hall drives down the lane. Looks for the dunk. Now here's Zeller. But Clancy's going to let 3 go. No good. Rebounded out there by Cade Jones. Jones down the middle of the lane. Off the glass. No good, but he was fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 as Martin set the check back in for the Warriors. Cade at the line to shoot 2 here. Try to cut into this lead a little bit. First one is up, and it falls in as Eli Guthrie's checking back in. He'll replace Jacob Terry, and Martin will replace Wyatt Zellers as Rouse will check in and replace Cutter. Jones with 1 more. Try to cut this thing down to a 21-point lead. Free throw is up and good, and he does. It's 40-19 with 4:35 to go in the third. Clancy out top being guarded by Temple. Temple, Clancy off the dribble, goes off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Hall, up and in. Now here's Caleb Jones. Jones hands it off to Cade. Cade drives down the left side, goes up. It's going to be fouled. I believe it's going to be on the floor. The foul will be on number 11, Jack Miller. That'll be his second foul, team second for the half. Temple gets it into Caleb Jones. Jones back to Yancey. Yancey now to Cade Jones on the right wing. Cade thought about a 3. Now we'll drive it. It's going to get called for a charging foul. Scottsburg basketball with 3:54 to go here in the third quarter. Close to over and back, Mikey. Hall at the high post. Now off to Rouse. Rouse gets the screen from Hall. Hall down the middle of the lane. Kicks it over left side to Miller. Miller down the middle of the lane. Back to Clancy. Clancy pulls up for a 15-footer. Got it. 44-19. Temple drives it down the middle. Now we'll back it back out. Gets it off to Yancey. Yancey out the top of 3. Right wing to Caleb Jones. Jones down the middle of the lane. Dumps it over to Eli. Eli's 15-footer. Air ball. No good. Rebounded out there by Clancy. Here's Clancy on the run. Down the middle of the lane. Back to Hall. Hall will let 3 go. Air ball. And back over to the Musketeers as Richardson will check in for Jack Miller. We're under 3 minutes in the third quarter as McGinnis set the check back in for the Warriors the next dead ball. Jones down the middle of the lane, back to back out. Now goes to Yancey Edlin. Edlin on the left wing. He'll drive middle. Now back to back out. Looking. We'll clear it over to Caleb Jones. Caleb down the middle of the lane. Up. Shot fake off the glass and got it. 44-21 with 2.5 minutes in the third. Martin up ahead to Richardson. Here's Martin for three. No good. Rebounded out there by Temple. Caden down the middle of the lane. Backs it back out. Now off to Eli. Eli back to Temple. Temple down the middle of the lane. It's going to be fouled by Clancy. And I'm not sure if it's going to be, I think it's going to be on the floor as Jacob Cherry sets the check back into. No, they are going to give Caden Temple 2 shots here, as Cutter and McGinnis set the check into after the first free throw for the Warriors.
Well, we talked about the segments. We
Yep.
didn't make them.
No. Temple's first free throw is no good. As Cutter will check in for Hall, and McGinnis will check in for Clancy. Cherry will check in for Caleb Jones. Temple's second free throw is up and no good. Rebounded out of there by Richardson. Not that it would have made a big difference, Mikey, but I know that's 4 free throws we've missed tonight.
Yeah, you know, even at Borden last week, we wasn't very good at the free throw line.
Here's McGinnis. 15-footer from the free throw line. He knocks it down. 46-21. As Branson White set the check in. Next dead ball. High post to Cherry. Cherry going to go to work. Back to Kay Jones. Jones' jump shot. No good. Rebounded by Cherry. Cherry fights for it. He's going to go up with it. Going to be fouled by Roush, it looks like. We'll wait to see who the call is going to be on it. It will be on Roush and send Cherry to the line to shoot 2. We've not done a very good job of looking for Jacob either, Mike.
No, and I don't think he's worked extremely hard either.
Yeah. Jacob's first free throw was no good. Jacob will have one more. And second free throw is up and good. 46-22. Warriors on top. McGinnis. Back to Roush. Now back to McGinnis. Back to Roush. Roush gets it across. Now to Martin. The cutter down low. Looking back out. Gets it out to Roush. Roush fumbles it around. Now Richardson. Now here's McGinnis. High post to Cutter. Cutter's 15-footer. No good. Going to be rebounded out of there by Temple. There's about 3 fouls there. None of them called. Temple now being guarded by Richardson. Ball intercepted. Picked up by Eli off the glass and got it. 46-24. Under a minute. Richardson now across the timeline. Drives them, dumps it over to Cutter. Off the glass and got it again. 48-24. 38 seconds in the third. Temple. Now Eli. Eli let 3 go. Got it. 48-27. Scottsburg's probably going to play for one shot here. As McGinnis has got it out top. Being guarded by Temple. Temple gets the screen from Cutter. Now back to Roush. Roush's 3. No good. Rebounded by Edlin. Edlin with 6 seconds. Drives the lane. Off the glass. Up. No good. But he'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 3.4 seconds to go. That foul is on Martin. Be his first. As Yancey's first free throw is no good. Yancey eyes the second one. It is up and good. Rouse gets it into McGinnis. McGinnis lets one go from half court. No good. And that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter with a score. Scottsburg Warriors on top of the Musketeers, 48-28. We'll step away here, word from our sponsors. Be back at you to bring you fourth quarter action. You're listening to Musketeer Basketball on WSLM out of Salem, Indiana.
Last year, this is what a touchdown sounded like at a high school football game. without fans.
Touchdown, Tigers!
Without you there, Indiana high school sports just weren't the same. But this year, a touchdown will sound like a touchdown again, because you'll be there to experience it. High school sports are far better with you in the stands. That's because high school sports are about more than the game. They're about the community. They're about the fans in the stands who come together to cheer for the leaders of tomorrow.
Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Knight, and I just want to welcome you back to the stands. The students and schools deserve your support.
This is high school football. This is Friday night. This is your IHSAA.
Robert, are you going to?
Welcome back to Scottsburg High School. Start of the fourth quarter. Musketeers down 48-28. Musketeer basketball to start this fourth quarter. Now here Eli Guthrie for a three. Got it. 48-31 with 7:45 to go here in the ball game. Here's Chase Coomer's checked in the ball game. Another freshman for the Warriors. Here's Miller. Miller, step through, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Cutter. He'll go up. He'll be fouled. Not sure who. Foul's on number 23, Kay Jones. It'll send Cutter to the line to shoot two more free throws. Cutter's first one is up and good.
Well, I thought Miller got away with the major travel
Yeah.
to start with.
I agree. He drug that foot awful bad, didn't he?
Yeah.
Second one is up, no good. Rebounded out of there by Jacob Cherry. He'll get it off to Caleb Jones now.
Got to go to the hot hand right here.
Yeah.
Can't get this to 12 with about 4 to go. You got an opportunity.
Dumps it down to Eli, or to Jacob Cherry. He'll go up with it. Be fouled. It'll send him back to the line to shoot two more free throws. Foul is on Coomer. It'll be his first. Team's sixth. And we're in the bonus now, too, Mikey. We could be shooting a lot of free throws here with the clock stopped.
You know, Scottsburg's coaches kind of went with a young group and group he hasn't played much together. And, you know, you can make a little bit of a run here and, you know.
We're going to have to force some turnovers of our own here, Mikey. And Jacob's second one is up and also good. 49-33 with 7:10 to go in the ball game. Clancy now for the Warriors out top. Goes to Cutter. Cutter back to Clancy. Clancy drives down the middle, back to Coomer. Coomer drives the middle of the lane, kicks it over to Cutter. Cutter's 15-footer. He knocks it down. That's almost automatic from the baseline for him, Mikey.
Yeah.
Back to an 18-point lead. Into Cherry. Cherry spins, goes off the glass, no good. Rebounded out there by Coomer. Coomer now bring it across the timeline for the Warriors. Being guarded by Kay Jones. Coomer down the middle of the lane, little runner off the glass and got it. Kate's got to do a better job defensively right there. Look inside to Cherry again. He'll spin, goes up, he'll be fouled. Looks like that call's going to be on Hall. It is on Hall as Yancey will check back in. Jacob's first free throw's up and no good. As Yancey will check back in for Branson White.
Well, as quick as we had it to about 17-16,
Yep.
they pushed it right back up.
Yep. Cherry's second one is off, no good. Our free throw shooting's been horrendous tonight, Mikey.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely horrendous. It should be about a 10-point ball game if we hit our free throws. Clancy, down the middle of the lane, back to Miller. Miller will slice it down the middle of the lane, step through off the glass, and will get called for travel.
Should have got called on the first, the one earlier.
We're under 6 here. Lead still at 20. Up ahead to Yancey. Yancey will drive down middle lane, throw it up the Cherry off the glass, and got it. 53-35. Ramsey hands it off to Jack Miller. Now here's Hall. Down low to Cutter. Cutter spins, goes off glass, and got it. We go back to the free throw line here, try to complete the 3-point play, push it back out to the 21-point lead. Cutter's a nice ball player, Mikey.
Yeah, he really is.
He's not real flashy, but, man, he does all the dirty stuff down low. He's a battler. Free throw by Cutter is up and good. 56-35 with 5.5 minutes to go in the contest here. Caleb Jones. Off to Jones. Cade. Over to Eli. Eli shot fake. He'll be fouled by Jack Miller. That's going to send him to the line to shoot 2. That IU score got any better, Mikey?
I'm getting ready to look.
Eli's first free throw is up and good.
A little bit, not much. Yeah, got real good.
Yeah, it's a 1-point game now. Syracuse on top of the Hoosiers, 58-57 with 11-15 to go in the contest. So we've knocked this thing down way down. We're down almost 20 early. The Musketeers got a little bit of a run in them here to finish this game. Here's Clancy down the middle lane, little runner. Off, pulled out of there by Yancey Edlin. Cade Temple set the check back in. Here's Jones on the right baseline. Back to Yancey. Flips out of bounds. Turnover back to the Warriors. As Zeller's checking back in for the Warriors, he'll replace Coomer. Coomer's going to be a nice player too, Mikey. Another freshman for the Warriors.
Yeah.
We're going to have to start forcing the tempo here a little bit, Mikey. I mean, that might mean us giving up some layups, but they're just going to stand out here and hold it. Under 5 minutes. Miller out top. Slides down the middle. Here's Clancy. He'll drive the lane back to Miller. Now here's Cutter. Cutter's going another 15-footer. Air ball. Brought out there by Eli Guthrie. Guthrie will get it off to Cade Temple. Temple to Yancey Edlin. Down low to Jacob Cherry off the glass and got it. We got to look there every single time down the floor.
Well, it's been an emphasis, it looks like, here in the fourth quarter to go to him. And Eli's stepping up, knocking some shots down, and we're starting to score the ball. But
yeah, here's a turnover by the Warriors. Pass up ahead to Jones. Kate Jones misses the layup.
That's just frustration.
I would have cut the lead down to 15 right there.
Trying to dunk one instead of just taking it 2.
Yep. Here's Zellers. Back to Jack Miller out top. We're under 4 minutes. Going to be a foul. Be the Musketeers' 15th foul, and that's going to be on Yancey Edlin. Ball be out of bounds. Yancey second. Team's 5th foul. 3:41 to go in the contest. Musketeers down 17. I thought that was over and back here. Yeah. Clancy gets called for an over and back call here. Turnover, Warriors back to the Musketeers.
You're at 3.5. If you make that layup and knock down your free throws, it's a 1 or 2 possession ball game.
Absolutely. Jones drives middle, off to Yancey. Now, Cade Temple on the right wing, over to Jones. Jones down low to Jacob Cherry. Flipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Musketeers with 3:19 to go in the contest. Temple to set the trigger in for the Musketeers. He'll get it into Edlin. Yancey now at the top of the key. Thought about a three. Dumps it down to Jacob Cherry. He's going to get a reach-in call on Clancy, and that'll send Jacob to the line to shoot at least a one-on-one, if not two here. Kay Jones will check back in for the Musketeers. It will be a one-on-one for Jacob Cherry. First one up by Cherry is good. Tie ball game up at Syracuse here, 60-60 with about 10 minutes to go in the contest.
Coach Woodson must have brought out a little Bob Knight halftime speech up there.
Well, you think we finally figured that zone out up there after about 30 years?
I hope.
Second one by Cherry is good. That cuts the lead to 15. 56-41 with 3 minutes to go in the contest. Jack Miller on the left wing. Back out top to Clancy. Clancy now. Over to McGinnis. Back to Clancy. Clancy. Down the middle of the lane. He'll back it back out again. Timeout. Coach Richardson as Eli is set to check back in for the Musketeers. Looks like a 30-second timeout, Mikey. We'll keep it here. We got it.
I'm going to look at something
It's
here.
a 15-point game right now, and I was hoping that you would. I know what you're looking up. Just see,
We are 11 of 20 from the free throw line.
So that's 9 free throws plus the missed dunk down here.
So that's 11 points. It's a 4-point. Let's say you hit 6 of those 9.
Yep.
8. It's a 7-point ball game. It's basically 2-possession ball game.
Yep.
So
I figure that's what you were looking up down there. I was surprised we're 50% from the free throw line.
yeah, I thought it'd be worse.
Scottsburg basketball with 2:48 to go in the contest. Zeller gets it into Clancy. Clancy being guarded by Temple, and now Jack Miller. Miller down the middle of the lane. He'll go off the glass and got it. We're going to give up some of those now, Mikey, if we're going to pressure like we are. 58-41.
Well, you almost got it.
Cherry's doing the work down there, and he's going to draw another foul. That one will be on Kobe Hall again. That's Hall's third. Send Cherry back to the line for 2 more. First one is up and good. Second one by Cherry is also good. 58-43 with 2:25 to go in the ball game. Zellers now back to Clancy. Clancy cross the timeline, up ahead to McGinnis. To Hall, cross court to Miller. Miller will back it back out. Scottsburg being in no hurry now. Miller, Kobe Hall, back to McGinnis. To Clancy, dumps it over to Zellers. Zellers will drive baseline. Shot fake, blocked away by Yancey Edlin. Now the Musketeers. Throws it up to... We got to quit trying to do the fancy plays here, Mikey, with the alley-oop and stuff. Just take the layups. Just take the layups. We had a 3-on-2 break right there. Scottsburg basketball. Clancy. Back out to Jack Miller. Clancy in the middle of the lane. Going to be fouled by Yancey Edlin. Be the 16th foul on the Musketeers with a minute and a half to go. Musketeers down 15. Clancy will be fouled. He'll go to the line now to shoot the 1-and-1. He'll be fouled by Caden Temple. Clancy's first free throw is up and good. 59-43. Clancy will have one more to push us back out to a 17-point lead. Second one is good. 60-43. Temple to Jones. Jones will let three go. No good. Rebounded out there by Zellers. He'll get it off to McGinnis. Back to Clancy. Clancy drives, goes straight in off the glass and got it. 62-43. We're down to a minute. Here's Jones. Kicks it off the foot. Turnover back to the Warriors. Scottsburg basketball into Zellers. Up to Clancy. Clancy. Off to McGinnis. McGinnis. Cross court to Jack Miller. Back out top to Clancy. Clancy splits them. Dribble back out. Down to 45 seconds. Down low. Now Hall. Back to McGinnis. Back out top to Miller. Miller to Clancy. Down to 35. And Clancy will be fouled by Jones with 33.6 seconds to go. We'll send Clancy back to the line for another 1-and-1. Clancy's free throw is up. No good. Rebounded out there by Kay Jones. We're down to 30. 19-point game, 62-43. Temple to Eli. Eli let three go. No good. Rebounded out there by McGinnis. And that'll probably do it, Mikey, as they'll get it over to Clancy. Down to 15 seconds. Jack Miller now to Hall. Back to Clancy. Clancy. Back to McGinnis. Down to 5. Zellers, 2, 1, and that'll do it. That's the ball game. Final score, Scottsburg 62, Musketeers 43. And we'll step away here and work from our sponsors. Let Mikey get his stats together. Be back to you to give you last-minute comments. You're listening to Musketeer Basketball, WSLM, Salem, Indiana.
Year, this is what a touchdown sounded like at a high school football game without fans.
Touchdown, Tigers!
Without you there, Indiana high school sports just weren't the same. But this year, a touchdown will sound like a touchdown again, because you'll be there to experience it. High school sports are far better with you in the stands. That's because high school sports are about more than the game. They're about the community. They're about the fans in the stands who come together to cheer for the leaders of tomorrow.
Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Knight, and I just want to welcome you back to the stands. The students and schools deserve your support.
This is high school football. This is Friday night. This is your IHSAA.
Hey, Robert, are you going to the game on Friday?
Yep. Welcome back to Scottsburg High School here. Final score. Scottsburg comes away with the Mid-Southern Conference victory over the Eastern Musketeers. 62-43 is the final. Mikey, I think this one's going to go down to, free throw shooting, and I think some decision-making on our end. and I think would have been a lot different ball game, and maybe put a little bit more pressure on Scottsburg here towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's easy to step back and say what ifs, but you know, you got to execute. We did not come out ready to play tonight, or execute. Still about the fourth quarter, I didn't think we really started playing. So, you know, it's back to the drawing board. I think, you know, coach has kind of seen some weaknesses now, and hopefully our boys seen some of their weaknesses and where we got to get better.
Yeah, you know, and I think you can take some things away from this game. This is a great ball team. I'm not taking nothing away from Scottsburg. They're a great ball team. They're going to continue to get better. They're really young. Got some great athletes on this team, underclassmen. You know, you got two seniors on this team, and only one of them start. Rouse being the other one, which did get substantial minutes tonight. But this team is going to be around for a few years here, and I think you're going to have to go through them here. If you're a 3A team, they're going to be a team to be contested. With the days of Silver Creek running through this sectional, I think those days are over.
Yeah, I mean, you look at things. I mean, I think you got North Harrison, you got Scottsburg, you got Silver Creek. I mean, it's going to be a fun sectional for sure. But you know, you got to talk about conference. You know, and you can't count Brownstown out. Coach Benner's always got them boys playing well, and you know, they're just fundamentally sound. And that's where we were hoping we were at, and we didn't show it tonight. We didn't show the team that we anticipated that we were going to be. And, you know, the disappointing part to me is I felt like after about halfway through the first quarter, we stopped competing.
Yep, I would agree with that. It kind of dug that big hole for us. And it's hard to come out of it, especially when you're playing on the road and you're playing against a team that can handle the basketball and not turn it over. I don't know how many turnovers they ended up with, but it didn't seem like they turned the basketball over a whole lot. I don't know if Coach Pribble's going to make his way out here or not, Mikey. Score update from Syracuse. The Hoosiers are down with 5.5 minutes to go in the contest, 74-70. But Coach Pribble is making his way over here. Not sure if he's going to come up here and chat with us or not. It looks like he will make his way up here. So we'll stick around here and chat with him. We appreciate him stopping by to chat with us for a little bit. Thanks for stopping by, Coach. Tough loss here tonight. Couple things. Basically want you to get your comments from you and what you brought from the game, but I think this one goes back. You probably learned a lot about your team today and on certain rotation stuff. The free throw shooting, I know, is one thing that's on your mind, and a few decision-making things that we made late in the ball game. I think if you clean them two things up there, you put a little pressure on Scottsburg and force them to do things a little bit differently.
Yep, I agree with a lot of that. When that you play against a team that's as athletic as what they were and as long as they are, you've got to be very disciplined in the way that you do everything, the way that you screen, the way that you move after the screen, the way you attack the basket. And what's frustrating is yesterday we had a very good practice where we looked like we were kind of flowing in everything that we were trying to do. And then we come out tonight looking brain dead, where we just didn't do anything that us coaches have been asking of them until the second half, when it's easy to do that because you're down 25 and there's no expectation. That's what's frustrating for me is you know, we see guys play at a higher level after the pressure's gone. And I do think that's something we're going to have to learn throughout the year, because last year we were in a lot of close games, but we also had no pressure because we were the underdog in everything. Nobody thought too much of Eastern, and now I think that there is a little bit of respect for where people think we can compete with others. But this is a Scottsburg team who's gonna be at the top of the conference. What's frustrating me is we play them one time. You guys show up one time to get the job done, and at least show up and compete. And we didn't do that.
I agree with everything you're saying there. You know, me and Mikey talked a little bit about it. You know, you get down 20 or whatever, and then with the ball handling and the guards that they got, they don't turn the ball over. So, you know, you put pressure on them. You're going to give up a few layups here and there, but you hit free throws and you take care of the basketball, you take care of business in the first half, and you put some pressure on them to take care of the ball or do things a little bit differently. And I felt like we made it easy on them at times.
I agree. And if you look, I mean, we won the third and fourth quarter. even though we had to foul, even though we had to play differently, we won the third and fourth quarter. That was very frustrating. It's easy to compete whenever there's no pressure because the game was essentially over after the first half. And that's what's frustrating to me is I typically would like to think that our guys are going to come out and be tough and gritty and get after it, and that wasn't us tonight. And I can tell you that on Friday night we're going to see a much different basketball team because we're going to fix those issues.
Tell me, and you kind of hit on the next question I was going to ask, what did you – this is not a post-game interview that typically either one of us like to do, but what did you learn from your team tonight going forward?
Well, I actually specifically just talked to them about, this is not something where we're content with the fact that we learned something. It's something where you show up and you're supposed to set the tone saying we can compete with Scottsburg, and the rest of the conference is on notice now saying Eastern can do these things. And that's not what we did. But did we learn in the second half how to actually attack the basket against that length and to find the next guy? Yes, I think we did. Did we learn how to get our post guys to post tougher and stronger so that way we can actually find our post guy? Yes, we did. And in the whole second half, we had Cutter on the floor. Hayden Cutter was on the floor. The first half, he wasn't. And we still weren't able to do the things that we wanted to do in that first half. But did we learn those things? Yes. Did we learn it too late? Yes.
One thing I thought was a bright spot for the team tonight, Coach, and you kind of touched on that. I thought you got some good minutes out of Eli Guthrie tonight.
Absolutely. If you're talking about a guy who will always work hard, that's Eli Guthrie. What he combined with his effort in that second half especially was he was using the stuff that we were teaching him, which is after he screens, he's going to move and do something else. And when he does that, typically two guys are going to run at Cade Jones, so Eli's going to be wide open to shoot it, and he has a very good shot. He's a very good shooter, but also with a body like his, it's tough to play him on the perimeter. But tonight was easier too because of Scottsburg's size.
Just real quick, I think Cade also, it was very evident tonight that when other teams have athletes on the floor, they're going to try to take him away and face guard him, and they didn't care where the basketball was at tonight. They were totally face guarding him, trying to take him out of the game. So do you think that's something going down the road that he's going to have to, expect?
Oh, absolutely. He is a good basketball player that's going to get the attention that a good basketball player gets. Last year it happened in our Silver Creek game. This year it happens here. Other teams did it other than these two teams. But yeah, this is going to be something that happens to him a lot. Now, what he's got to understand is if someone's guarding him like that means they can't help on the drive. That means they can't help whenever he sets a screen. So he's got to learn that he's got to space the floor. He's got to be able to go set screens and be as unselfish as possible. And towards the end of the game, I was very happy with him because he attacked the middle, and instead of shooting a contested jumper, he throws it over the top to Jacob Cherry. That's not something he did in the beginning of the game, but he learned that as the game went on. So am I happy that we learned something? Yes. Am I happy that we showed up and didn't compete? Absolutely not. I feel like this is a little different attitude than I normally come into these interviews with. I'm a little bit frustrated with that.
I completely understand. Coach, just one more thing. Quick turnaround here, get a couple days of practice, and you're back at it Friday night with county rival West Washington coming in here. Anything you could say about them? Have you watched them play, and what can we expect?
If we play the way we played tonight, you can expect a really, really competitive game. If we show up and I think West Washington's trying to rebuild a little bit. They lost, you know more about it than I do from being down here longer, but they've lost a lot of guys, and they're trying to fill those shoes. And it's early in the season, so I've only seen one game on them. They've only played one game. But it was a tough game against Salem. I think they've got some guards who can handle it and shoot it. They lack size, which is something that we have. But I'm more looking forward to tomorrow's practice more than I can look ahead to Friday because we've got some stuff we've got to fix. And really, with our JV group as well. So we've got some communication issues where starting at the top, point guards for both groups and really guards in general for both groups need to learn how to communicate better and get guys in the right spots. And it starts at the top there, and they're the general on the floor. So we got to get that figured out. We've got to get some toughness things figured out, and we got to make sure guys show up ready to go at the start.
Well, Coach, I won't keep you any longer. I'll let you get out of here, get you back on the bus, get you back home. But good luck on Friday. Get a couple good days of practice in here. We'll look forward to talking to you Friday night after the ball game, and we thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for what you do.
That's Coach Pribble. We appreciate him stopping by and chatting with us. I'll get Mikey back on the headset here real quick, and we'll send it back to the station. Mikey, you have anything left?
No, I don't know what y'all talked about that long, because there wasn't that much to talk about tonight. You know, I'm sure he touched on it, but it's back to the drawing board the next couple of days, and, you know, a little bit of soul searching, and be ready to go Friday night.
That's pretty much it, and that's what he went over. But if you don't have anything else, Mikey, we'll send it back to the station. Final score from Scottsburg tonight. Scottsburg Warriors come out with a Mid-Southern Conference victory over the Eastern Musketeers, 62-43. We'll see you Thursday night as Providence and Eastern's girls play, and then back Friday night at home with West Washington. For Mikey and Wes, you've been listening to Musketeer Basketball on WSLM out of Salem, Indiana. I say God bless and good night.